Oh, what the fuck? Huh.
You alright?
Uh,
But he passed out for 5 minutes. I didn't know the news got to you that hard.
oh yeah.
You saw it on your comms as well.
What? Yeah,
Musho.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I told you to go to them. I didn't know it would happen this quickly. I'm sorry about that. Just
Thanks for telling me too late.
what can I say? It's always too late. Well, do you want to get this over with?
Yeah.
Come on in then. Let's get this started. Okay, if you need to put anything in your ender chest, do it now. And if there's any questions you need for me or for whatever the hell I've done, you're gonna have to answer it. Well, ask me it so I can answer it right now while we're going down there. We don't have a lot of time.
I'm just making sure. Alright.
Down here. We'll start at level 2. I don't really have a lot to say, but I don't think you've seen the full picture of things. Like you've went down these stairways, you've talked to a lot of people, you've seen how fate breaks and crumbles and changes, but have you seen how it's affected everyone else? Or how it's dealt with my fate in a way? I haven't always seen what happens.
Are you shifting the blame onto me?
No, it's very much someone else's. It's not yours, it's not mine. It's always been a much higher form of evil. Like the skulk, like to start off with the bloody skulk. The skulk was made from a trade-off. I made a deal to make sure this stuff stays underneath the surface for so long. It wriggles and moves upon the earth, trying to satisfy its hunger for infestation, for energy, for justice over control of the entire soil. Like this thing doesn't stop. I had to make something to stop it from doing everything. And so eventually that time runs thin and it expired. Like, do you have any questions about the skulk right now? Because the trade's expired. I can't really keep anything under the soil anymore for this.
Well, it's gonna be gone soon, so it doesn't really matter.
Are you sure?
I mean, I guess. Is there, like, a specific way to just kill it forever? For good? One just big way to just destroy it completely? Just in case if it ever does come back?
The main way I'd get it is to make sure you find the source of it, compress it under a heavy mass of soil, and a lot of cold, a lot of just cold, dry ice.
Alright.
If you can keep the source there from spreading, you can keep it from being dormant and eventually spreading. Or you could try and make it deals and keep it down here until it runs out and then it comes rampant and then you have to wait till the next cycle for it to go dormant again and stay under here.
Will the skulk disappear forever? After.
Not always. Even I don't have control over that. That's Jester's and Cansplat's dominion. I
But
can't really do much.
just as gone for the conceivable future.
Doesn't mean I don't have control over things here.
Alright.
Even little things they have beyond their fingertips, like the back of their hand, they can move things, warp time. They've bloody done it to me lots of times during cycles where they've warped time to a point where I almost forgot to set off the lever.
Alright. Alright.
It hasn't been nice.
Yeah, let's just keep going then.
Alrighty, let's go to the next one. The next one is not as nice. At least the skull could talk and make deals and at least have some competency to at least know sympathy towards another person. The second one's not as nice. At least we didn't have to deal with that one this cycle. Just don't sniff the stuff.
Alright.
Don't touch the stuff as well, please. This is the crimson flesh. It's like the skulk, but more of a really aggressive decomposer.
Oh.
Takes up people as hosts, much like the skulk, but instead it very much just uses you as energy and just passes it on to the next person. It doesn't care for spreading, it just cares for hosts. And it doesn't talk to them, it just uses them as a mech of sorts, which is why I called Thomas a husk. I didn't know whether it was skulk or crimson flesh at first.
Oh.
It's hard to tell in the beginning stages. Which is why I did make the deal with them until I found out it was actually skulk. And then I realized it was way too late to do anything. It's just I couldn't do anything past that because you're already dead. I couldn't undo that anymore. It was just something that I couldn't undo, and I couldn't just say I'm sorry because that would make me look pathetic. Like, I can't just undo all the damage I've done, right?
No.
Like, the Crimson Flesh here, obviously, it has its own point and its own meaning of destruction and living off of other people.
Yeah.
But I wish this thing didn't do the same thing that I did to you, which is fester off of everyone else to get their own goals met. In fact, this thing actually ruined my life a long time ago. I just wish one day it doesn't resurface and ruin yours.
Oh.
It ruined a lot of people in the past.
Alright, yeah, we can, leave this room.
Wait. Like, what's going on? You moving?
Cool. Another god dying, not disappearing.
I see. How are you gonna find them? They've been rifting.
Alright. Well, go with your pathetic little guy who's does whatever he does. Ruins everyone's lives. You go do that.
I'll see you then. He's different, I swear. I
Yeah.
hope you're right. Most of those Thomases are quite they're not nice. And their fate is often it's linked to something very bad, so I'm hoping you're right in some way.
I hope he never comes back.
You can only hope that.
Well, there he goes.
I think they're gone. You've heard of this one?
Kind of. I don't remember the name.
The Violet Phantasm.
Oh, yeah.
This one's much more silent. It's not as bad, but if you ingest any of these flowers, it will put you into a deep sleep where it will decompose your corpse.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's quite nice to me, though. You can't do that for plant organisms, apparently.
Quick question. what do you believe the universe exists on? You know, do you have you heard of this idea called string theory, where every universe is just a string on a different frequency? So everything
It
that
would make sense to why Thomas could find another version of me somewhere.
so every universe, everything that ever exists is on a different frequency.
So the rift is technically a radio.
And then if you tune it correctly, you could find anything. Anything. In the...
We could find all of the U's out there.
No, but if I'm thinking correctly, because every plane of existence exists, like, on this, it exists because you can go there. So that means, technically, if you configure the rift correctly enough, you could go to places that maybe a normal human wouldn't be able to go to unless they had the rift, like limbos while still being alive. You could travel to your own limbo while still alive. It's just a theory,
Would
but
you want to go?
it's just a theory, but if it's possible, it I I
Where would you want to go?
no. I'm just using the limbos as an example. There's this very specific place I want to go to. So, I'm...
Where would you like to go? If that was possible to use the rift to move to different places, where would you like to go?
I'd go to the prison where Jest is being kept and kill him, where he stands.
If you could?
If I could, yeah.
I know it would pain them, but I feel like there's a little sense of justice that I'd like to feel.
There's always the next cycle.
And I'd love to join you. There is always the next cycle.
Yeah.
That's the joy of the cycles, at least. The rapture allows things to move on, for a new, fresh start, for new people to come in, for a new anomaly to take shape.
Yeah.
At least with the next one, I can have a bit of peace and learn how to fix things that I've done wrong.
I think it's possible.
Done a lot of wrong things.
I think it's possible to find wherever Jester is and kill him. Because he'd be in a weakened state because he's imprisoned. I think.
Finding the mirror dimension using the rift would be a very, very hard way to tune. I think you'd have to fine tune it a very, very specific way to get it to work.
But there's a guy who knows how to do that.
But to different dimensions. Universes, they do, but dimensions...
I mean, I guess if you mess it, all we would need to do is just...
And how would... You don't even like Thomas. How are you gonna get him to do that for you? Unless you get me to...
I have an idea. I have a plan.
What's the plan?
All I need to do is remember it into the next cycle.
And do you even know what the trigger item is?
No. But... Listen, I'm not gonna share my full plan right now, but... If I make it into the next cycle and somehow I'm able to remember everything, and just even remember the important parts, I'll be able to, I'll tell you later more in the next cycle. That's what I'm saying.
I'll be happy to help, but I just want you to know that killing a god, even though you've seen it happen here in a weakened state, it is a very hard thing to do.
I've
To
got
get binded to one is a hard thing already in itself. To kill one is a very unique thing.
I've got the tools necessary. He gave me a sword.
Do you think your hands will be just as powerful to commit the act?
I think I'm more than capable enough to commit an act of murder upon someone.
Are you
Especially.
willing to tarnish your soul for it?
Yes.
Hmm. Well, let's just see what's down here before I lead you to the final cavern, shall
Yeah.
we?
Yeah.
We used to have temples down, like, where I used to live. Temples for each of the gods.
Huh.
Used to see one for Clarence, but I just didn't know where it led to, and so he sometimes had small little rooms like this.
Oh.
Rooms with symbols of power of different plants, different books for entries of the gods. I like to keep it up because nobody else does it anymore.
Oh.
Makes me feel much more lonely in a sense, but it's good that someone else is seeing these.
Hmm.
Like I said, I haven't seen anyone in thousands of years. Kept myself up here, busy just, farming, talking to Febros, doing what I need to do, drawing, writing. Just keeping my mind from not slipping away at least. I'm just glad you gave me something to cycle, Opidane.
And I lost
You gave me
everything.
something very important.
Oh.
And I wish I could give you as much as you could give me, but I'm afraid I don't know how to give it back.
Alright.
At least down here I can give you some information. This is the final branch off.
Huh. What's down there?
Down there is something that I haven't seen in a long time, but I like to keep it. I like to keep it here.
Oh.
It's my tombstone.
What?
When I actually died, I stayed as a mound of moss for 3 years. I was quite dormant. Nobody knew I was there. In fact, the earth was still hardening from the rain of lava and magma from the sky.
Oh.
I was quite unconscious.
Yeah.
Well, I was still trying to process being executed by my own people, so
What did you do?
it took a long. I didn't do anything. That's the problem.
They wouldn't.
Oh, look, it was.
They
Look, I
wouldn't.
made a deal with someone to clear the crimson flesh in the cycle I was living in, and it was called in history the Sorin Fires. I took the flame of a burning star and I burnt down the remains of the crimson flesh in the village one night. And a spear came through at me. Someone else got it impaled through them. I was framed for the murder and for my best friend. And they signaled me in a little village trial, and they sentenced me to an execution
Oh.
into a lava pit.
Huh.
Like,
Alright.
I know I have done lots of bad things, OB, but there's a lot to come from that I don't think is good either. You could even say I was an anomaly in my own right, but it's very debatable. I was just thrown up into the air and then suddenly I'm not me anymore.
Okay.
At least I protected people.
But those days are long gone, huh?
Kept all the info here from each of the cycles that I've been through, over 20,000 of them.
Huh.
Made sure of it to keep it here and to protect Moscow, Deadline, Core, Bird. Kept them down here for as long as I could.
Studies, the origins, experiments.
There's one specific entry I want you to see upstairs.
Alright.
I wrote a note for you up there, but everything else is mainly me relaying the same thing in case anyone else broke in. It happened in the past. I'm worried for other people to get it to happen.
Oh.
I'm hoping that's the right book unless someone else took it.
What? That's it. That's me. I don't know what you wanted, but I don't have it. I'm just a person who wants to die to pass on, and no matter how many threats or deaths I get, nobody will understand the time I have here, and the curse that binds me to the floor I walk on. To anyone here that I have connected to, reached out to, laughed with, cried with, promised things and loved. I am sorry. Sorry for not being there because of our time is too short. Sorry that I have to lie and cheat and kill to make sure things don't end with you dying. Sorry that I don't do my best things because they lead to worse endings. Sorry that I can't die for you. Sorry that I can't cry with you as the sky cracks open and consumes you. I'm sorry. So sorry that I couldn't break fate for you, my friends. All of my friends, from cycle to cycle, up to the most recent friends. There's always a reason to why someone weird appears. Opidane, this note will never offer you the justice to the things I want to express to you. The times we have had here have been some of the most chaotic in a long time, and I know that I can never offer you enough at the end of the day, because there will always be obstacles that get you to see me, well, see me as I see myself, as a monster. Opie, I am a cruel person, and you shouldn't have tried to be friends with me, because no matter what I'm always the one who you remember remember the heart-aching pain that comes with losing you. And you will never see it when the world ends. Yes, you will see everyone else. Callisto, Misha, Thomas, Bird, Core, Fritz, Clarence, Jester, Ephemeros. But you won't see me, would you? You'd see right through me. All I can do for you is remember the promise we made. To remember you, to get you to remember this. But I won't need you to remember me. Oh no, I want to move away, to leave you and everyone in peace. Just stay safe, will you? And don't tax any more bridges. I still have a very empty wallet from crossing it. Goodbye, and I hope the next cycle treats you well. Ash Fulton, may you prosper once. The end has begun.
I know it's not it's something I've been writing for a while. I just didn't have the right time to write it, the full thing. But I don't really I didn't never had the time to say what I could.
I oh. Do you have
You okay?
Do you have an ender chest nearby?
Yeah, I do. It's downstairs.
Alright.
There should be one there. You okay?
Yeah.
I hope that wasn't too much. It's just sometimes you never get enough time to say anything.
Yeah. It's
You get
just
pent down here for so long, you kind of lose a part of yourself out there.
it's just been it's just been a long day.
I wish I could have went to another room. You could have taken some rest here.
All right.
Worst comes to worst, I could have just not told you any warnings, and you could have just went through it without knowing that people could die or people could get hurt or I don't know, the world could get really cold and really hot at the same time. I could have just been very ignorant and just told you how to get things done. At least you'll know how the world ends from here. This reaches down to the core.
Oh.
There has been lots of ways the world has ended in the past, such as acid rain, a lightning storm that shrivels up each part of the earth until there's only one block left of dirt. There's been earthquakes that have cracked open the earth until it compresses into a mound. There's been floods that have absolutely covered the earth in water until I've had to create the entire volley of grass and dirt and mountains and cascades and craters. This demolishes everything.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't want to leave it there where there's still remainders of it left. This goes down to the core, it takes out everything, nobody gets hurt.
I think most people are dead already, so
There are still people out there, regardless of people in this circle.
yeah. All right. Um when do we get this show started, huh?
Look, we can get down there now, but I need to ask you a few things.
All right.
Do you still want me to use the promise? Do you still want me to get you to remember anything and everything in the next cycle?
Yes. Without the knowledge of
Even me.
everything. Every good moment, every bad moment. I trust myself to make a good judgment.
Will you, for the next reincarnation of Callisto, bring back their memories?
I think I have items that could bring back most, if not everyone's memories. I've collected significant items that may be close to them or relate to them. If it doesn't work,
If
well,
Thomas, like, that's good, at least, that people will be coming back. But what if Thomas comes back?
I have my plan for Thomas. I'll make sure he doesn't disturb anyone.
I hope. Usually when people come back from the rift, they appear a lot older.
Yeah.
Let's hope they've changed.
Some people just don't change.
Well, I hope in this case we change for the better.
Yeah.
I need to think for a second. There is something else. I feel like I'm missing something. There's like you know that you always have a place here. Well, not here because it'll be gone, but if I make another place in the future, you have a place there. You know that, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I was not listening what you said because there was just a raid by... there was just a raid of 30 people. I don't know how to do the shout out command. I'm not a...
Welcome Raiders.
I haven't...
It's just /shout.
Oh. I haven't modded in a while.
It's all good. I think it's just /shout.
Give me a second. Just, unrecognized command. Never mind. Cool. Alright,
Awesome Raiders.
we'll just see if Thomas, oh, Callum, yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry.
Yippee!
Alright. Yeah.
Okay, you know that there's a place for you at the end? Like, when this is over and there's a new patch of land that I've placed down, you have a place.
We all do.
No, I mean you.
Oh.
Like, I don't mean just everyone else. I don't mean just the reincarnations of people from here. I mean you.
Oh. Me.
You've been through some roughed up crap. You out of anyone else here deserves a lot of things. You're not the bad guy here. You never were. Like, do you know that, right?
Yeah, I know that. It's just difficult, sometimes when everyone's telling you the opposite. There have
Well,
been.
you're not. You've never been. For all I know, you've done what is good. For all I know, you've been racked up in so much. Your mind's been twisted one way, so you've thought to just try and get everyone out of it to try and make things normal again.
Yeah. The Nebula Rift
It's
progress.
normal.
I don't think it's changed. It's announcing it like it's.
2%.
Yeah. Oh well. I think, yeah. Is that all you've wanted to say? Cause,
There's hmm.
'cause I'm pretty
There's
sure.
one other person I want to tell you about.
Alright.
There's there's someone that is related to Cansplat that you might see pop up.
Oh.
They're not bad, trust me. They're not the worst, but
You telling me
I assure you they'll.
there's more than just
Yes, there are. Yes,
four.
sorry.
How many gods are there?
There's a lot of them. It's hard to tell because when I'm talking to them out there, they overlap a lot.
Okay, I've got some work to do. Next cycle. Yeah, cool. Um,
You want to take any of the books?
um,
The last time you were here, you were quite rushed and very very frustrated and aggressive, I guess.
uh, is there like some form of like redstone contraption thing? No, cool. Alright.
No, I think that is gonna have to stay locked for. Oh no, that is gonna have to stay locked for a bit longer. Not in this cycle. Unfortunately, that may have to be tightened off for a little bit. That shows something very difficult to deal with still.
Oh, okay.
It shows my old house that got burnt down.
Oh,
That I burnt down. It has a lot of memories in there and a lot of thoughts I don't like seeing.
oh, okay.
Like a lot of things that you said are in there, locked very tightly. People have said those things a lot of times, and it feels like it disassociates people a lot of times if you hear the same thing from the same people, even if they share a different face and a different mark on their shield. It
Alright.
just hits a lot harder if it's buried deep in your soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
This lever wasn't even supposed to be underground.
Oh, I dropped that by mistake. Anyway, yeah.
So you really want to remember me?
Like I said, I want to remember everything. Good or bad.
Is it just to kill me in the next cycle?
No, it's I've I've never been one to try to restrict information for myself. If I can keep as much information as I possibly can, so I can just remember and just make better choices. You know, that's all I need. Whatever.
So I'm just here for information.
I mean, whether I see you as a bad person still, or whether I improve as whether I see you as a potential ally or something like that, it's not really my choice to make right now, because, well, only the future can tell. All you gotta do is do your best to help me remember as much as I possibly can, and it'll be up to me to remember everything in the right way, the way that it should be remembered. You can
If
only.
I can find you.
Yeah, if you can find me.
Oh no.
Don't worry. Nebula is just where stars are made. It's not an actual explosion. Because some dumbass said nebula instead of supernova.
What a. Still not a good thing for the end of the world, especially in something like this place, at least.
Yeah. It's like Fortnite.
Okay. Might as well stand behind that doorway. We get this over with.
Which doorway?
Yep. There's always a start, there's always a middle, and there's always an end.
I asked
But
which doorway.
that doorway.
This
See
one?
where that little. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that one.
I just stand here.
You got that cornflower I gave you?
I put it in an ender chest.
Well, that's still good in a sense.
Alright.
Well, I'll see you in the next cycle.
Oh, okay. See ya.
I just hope that things can get a lot better from here, and maybe in a sense things might even be a lot happier. I'll miss you, and I'm sorry.
Oh!
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ever watch Breaking Bad?